Hi, grade 7 learners, and welcome to our English class. I am Miss Dali Jomento, your teacher. Sit back, relax, and enjoy learning because I absolutely gotcha. In today's video discussion, you will be acquainted with the use of the tenses of the verb, specifically the simple past and the past perfect tense, as they play a vital role in every composition as well as in conversation. This is in line with our learning competency. Use the past and past perfect tense in different situations. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to define the past tense from past perfect tense, supply the correct form of the verb following the correct tenses, and last, appreciate the use of simple past and past perfect tenses in compositions. Let us have a brief review first by answering the pre-assessment. Use the correct form of the verb following the correct tenses of the verb. Write the letter of your answer in your English notebook. I will give you 15 seconds to write the statements and 10 seconds to identify the correct answer for each item. Number 1. The other day, our teacher blanked to announce the scores of the test. A. Forgets. B. Will forget. C. Forgot. D. Forgotten. Number 2. The wound blanked before the paramedics arrived. A. Bled. B. Will bleed. C. Had bled. D. Have bled. Number 3. The woman blanked the car last night. A. Driven. B. Drove. C. Driving. And D. Will drive. Number 4. My mother blanked vegetables from the market yesterday. A. Will bring. B. Had bring. C. Bringing. D. Brought. For the last item, number 5. This morning, I blank sad. Letter A. Felt. Letter B. Feeling. C. Will feel. D. Feels. Alright, it's now time to check your answers. The correct answer for number 1 is letter C. For number 2, it is also letter C. Number 3, letter B. For number 4, letter D. And for the last number, for number 5 is letter A. Nice work, class! You are doing great! Now, with our open ears and wondering eyes, we will now explore this lesson. May you, dear learners, experience a memorable one as we go through this topic. Don't forget to take note on the important things that you'll get from this part. Keep up! It is a well-known fact that using verb forms based on the correct tense are confusing and tricky. The verb that you see may affect the message that you send across. So, to stop this from happening, this part of the lesson would be very helpful for you. What is a tense? A tense is a form of a verb that shows time of action or state of being. To enable to use the correct form of the verb correctly, you must remember the tenses of the verb to follow when choosing its correct form. Simple past form of the verb. We use the simple past tense to talk about actions that happened at a specific time in the past and which does not extend into the present. The simple past is not accompanied by helping verbs. There can be few actions happening one after another. These can be in terms of events in the past that are now finished, situations in the past, and series of actions in the past. For example, the Filipino worked for the last century. This sentence tells something that happened in the past and we use the verb worked, which is in a simple past form. Another, I lived in Manila for 10 years. In this example, we use the verb in its simple past tense, which is lived, and the sentence expresses a situation in the past. The last one is I jumped, I saw, I conquered. This sentence shows series of past actions which are jump, saw, and conquered. How to formulate the simple past tense? For regular verbs, mark ed to the root form of the verb or just d if the root word already ends in an e. Base form, talk. Simple past form, talked. Past, passed. Dance, danced. For irregular verbs, they have a variety of endings and the reason why things get more complicated. They can be a bit tricky in the past tense, but they don't have to be if you familiarize yourself with them. Base form, see. Simple past form, saw. Take, took. Fly, flew. The to be verbs, such as is and are all irregular. In fact, to be verbs are the only verbs in English that can change form in every tense. Fortunately, the past simple form of to be verbs is fairly easy, as the following table shows. Base form, is or am. Simple past form, was. Are, were. Alright, let us now move forward to past perfect tense. The past perfect tense is sometimes referred to as the past in the past. You might be wondering why. This is because the past perfect tense is used when you are talking about a completed action before another past action. How to formulate the past perfect tense? The formula for the past perfect tense is had plus the past participle form of the verb. It doesn't matter if the subject is singular or plural. The formula doesn't change. Example, John had finished his assignment before Joanne asked her to do so. In this example, both actions happened in the past. However, one action took place before the other one happened. As we can observe, the past perfect tense portrays the earlier action before another action happened and portrayed by the simple past tense. Just be careful in using irregular verbs since they do not follow a pattern in forming their past and past perfect form. An example of this is, After Girly had eaten breakfast, Jake washed the dishes. In here, we have two past actions, had eaten and washed. If we are going to look at the given example, we can observe that the past action had eaten happened first before the other action, which is washed. Had eaten in this sentence is in the past perfect tense and wash is in the simple past tense. Therefore, there is past in the past. Take note, the past perfect tense is used to show that something happened before another action in the past. It can also be used to show that something happened before a specific time in the past. In many cases, a complete sentence is written in two parts with two different tenses. The past perfect tense to refer to the action that happened first or earlier. The simple past tense to refer to the action that happened second or later. This is applicable to our example a while ago. After Girly had eaten breakfast, Jake washed the dishes. The first part of our sentence, after Girly had eaten breakfast, is in the past perfect tense, and in the second part, Jake washed the dishes, is in the simple past tense. Now there are time expressions used in showing past perfect tense. Some of these are after, as soon as, the moment that, and until. Only use these time expressions before using the past perfect tense. Examples: after she had moved out, I found her notes. The time expression is after and it was used before the past perfect tense had moved out. Another is, I didn't say anything until she had finished talking. The time expression used is until, before the past perfect tense had finished. On the other hand, the following are used in indicating simple past tense: before, when, and by the time. This is used before the simple past tense. Before I knew it, she had run out of the door. The time expression before was used before the simple past tense, which is new, and we can see the past perfect tense of the sentence, which is had run out. Next example. By the time he phoned her, she had found someone new. In here, we use the time expression by the time, and it is again placed before the simple past tense phoned. The past present tense is had found. We must also bear in mind that the order of the phrases may be switched, but the meaning will stay the same. In this juncture, let us test your understanding about the lesson by answering the following activities. For task 1, write sentences in the simple past. Use the given words as guide. Do this in your notebook for 1 minute. Number 1, Jeanette missed the bus. Number 2, Nancy watched television. 3, she read a book. 4, he know the plan. And number 5, the teachers plan a meeting. Time's up! These are the expected answers. The next activity is forms of the verb. Write the correct form of the verb based on the tense given. Indicate your answer on the table provided. Copy and answer for 45 seconds. Okay, the time has ended and it is now time to evaluate if your answers are correct. Congratulations! You all did great! Our topic ends here, class. Thank you for listening and cooperating. I hope you have learned some points there. Remember, when using a particular verb form, be mindful of the time framers that give a very helpful tip to what tense of the verb will be used in your sentences. Once again, this is Teacher Dolly, and I absolutely gotcha. Oops! Class dismissed! See ya!